Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. bbsautosales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros open up a home series tonight with division rivals, the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners will go with George Kirby on the mound, while the Astros will throw Peter Lambert. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight at Dyken Park, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. LSU sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett said yesterday that he has no plans of giving up the number 5 jersey after Jaden Daniels and his team's actions towards LSU yesterday. Daniels' camp not only sent LSU a cease and desist on using his name, image, and likeness, but then asked LSU to return their copy of his Heisman Trophy, which multiple sources have stated LSU has no intention of doing. Following yesterday's big slate of games, the NFL will follow suit again tonight with 3 more preseason games. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will play the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins will play the Washington Commanders, and the Denver Broncos will play the Atlanta Falcons. All games will kick off at 6 p.m. tonight. In keeping with the NFL, the New Orleans Saints will get their preseason underway tomorrow against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Legendary LSU baseball coach and athletic director Stanley Skip Burtman passed away yesterday at the age of 88. In his 18 seasons as the Tiger baseball coach, he led the team to 5 national titles and 7 conference championships. As AD, he hired 3 national championship winning head coaches, and the women's basketball team reached 5 consecutive Final Four appearances during his tenure. He was also a member of the inaugural class of the College Baseball Hall of Fame in 2006. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome into a best of edition of RP3 and Meche as you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station. We've got an absolute jam-packed edition of this show, recapping some of the best interviews that we've done so far. It's time to buckle up and get ready because it starts right now.
Impromptu guests are the best guests, and this one's really, really cool. How about a legend, Chris Berman, ESPN. He's been on the airwaves forever. Chris, can't thank you enough for stopping by.
I was in the area. I've been to Lafayette. I know that the Houdats are all over Canton. I've only been here a few hours, but I don't even need to wonder because you know better than me what Drew Brees and that group meant to the state, to the city, to the Bayou. It was bigger than football, you know, and he's last for a reason when we do our thing tomorrow, which they're nice enough to let me MC. And I'm going to lay it on pretty thick.
That's what is it like, this event for you? You've done a lot of big ones, right? But this, we've been talking to some of the Hall of Famers, and they just have this glow about, getting back every year, talking to these people, this fraternity they've built. This is just one of the coolest weekends. It's nothing really like it.
It's really cool to see, because they and the guys that go in for the first year and maybe the next year that they're back, when it's not them having to speak and getting worried, is mom and dad all set, or my kids, the next year, then they kind of relive what they did. And then by year 3, they realize they're on the greatest team of all time.
Yeah.
Now it may not all be the same age, but this is the greatest team of all time. And so the fact that they get 100 or 125 this year, or whatever the number is, and they've just had a luncheon, which they can't tell you much about. I wasn't in it either. They called the Ray Nitschke luncheon. The Ray and Deacon Jones used to speak, and what it was to be they weren't razzing the new guys. It wasn't, hazing, but what it was to be a Hall of Famer and come back when you can. And these guys take it seriously. You look, what sport is more of a team sport than football? None. And that's not to knock anything else. None. Willie Roaf doesn't block for you, you're not gaining any yards. Willie Roaf doesn't block for you, your defense is getting overrun because even though you have nothing to do with the arm. You see what I'm saying? You know that. And they embrace that here. And it's fun for me to even be on stage, and then we go to a commercial and it's 3 minutes and I'm looking behind me and there they are. And I know them all. Certainly by doing this, I've done the MC 26 times. Doesn't mean I'm good at it or whatever. They're too stupid to get rid of me. But I'm doing it. And I look for that call every year like, why? Were you worried? You haven't invited me yet. So it's an honor. If you love football and you don't get goosebumps looking up on that stage, there's something wrong with you.
Well, I tell you what, for me, hearing your voice right now, talking to you a little surreal, and I've watched NFL primetime probably most of my life, and you've still been doing it. Yeah, are you coming back again, or are we running it back again?
Oh God, yeah.
Then I can't wait for it. I enjoy. I can't tell you, man. Listen,
we got a Louisiana legend with me, Booger.
Of course,
Right.
and he's
Tommy
slid in and done a great job, hasn't he?
Booger's been great.
He is
wonderful person, wonderful. And really great perspective. A championship team early in his career and one at the end with the Colts, of which Adam Vinatieri's first year as a Colt was 2006, and that was when Booger, came over toward the end of his career. But Tony Dungy had coached him in Tampa, and they made a trade in the middle of the deadline, and he won another ring. So his perspective from that side of the ball is the one I've always had with Tommy, a 14-year linebacker. So I get to throw the ball. They get to tell me how the tackle was made.
I love listening to you with NFL primetime, but, man, I miss you doing baseball as well. I'm just going to let you know.
I love doing it. But semi-retirement's a real thing. I'm 47. Doesn't mean I'm old. And I'm 47 years in the business. I'm 71. I meant to say I'm 47 years. But
I would have believed 40. I would have been okay with 47 as your age.
Yeah, well, you got my check. But I love doing it too because it was different. Football, people go, "Well, what's your favorite football stadium?" I said, "I've been to less than you have, probably." What do you mean? Well, I'm in the studio Sundays. Right. I see all the games, but unless it's a Super Bowl or an occasional Monday night or something, I would go. I'm not at it. Baseball. You're at the cage the night before on a Tuesday. You get a Wednesday game you do. It's a little different. You can BS with some of the players, get some of your stories, maybe tell them. That's very kind of you because I did like 400 baseball games. Again, doesn't make me good at it, but I love that sport too. But football is my professional, calling card.
I'll throw one other thing in there. I'll watch the home run derby. I have your voice as a track in the back of my head while it's happening, whether you're saying it or not live.
Well, look, the other guys, Carl behind me.
Oh, they're great. No doubt.
But I tell you what, it's funny. George, this is why I'm glad I didn't grow up in the internet age. And when everybody had a phone and all this stuff, and toward the last few years, and I don't read it, but it makes it, oh my God, if he says back one more time, I'm going to hang myself. But 10 years later, I got better at it. I miss him. I can't believe we don't hear back. No knock on Carl Ravitch, or Matt this year, but it's funny. I got better each year. I didn't do it. When I was doing it, I got worse. It's just funny how it works. So don't believe everything you read.
I want to ask you about.
I was no good at it.
No good. I want to ask you about Canton because the vibe that I've gotten since we've been here, I've been to Lambeau as a fan, and that's a very small town, and they all embrace it, and they let people park in their yards on game day, and it's very much in that. Canton has that same feeling here for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What makes Canton special for you?
Let me give you. I came a couple times in the '80s, even just to cover it, and in the '90s just to cover it. I started emceeing in the late '90s, whatever year it was. When we used to come till about 15 years ago, whoever we were, in our room, hotel room, when we check in, there would be a drawing from an elementary school student, not Joe grade 3 from Central Elementary, or Emma grade 2 from Cypress Element. They would say the grade in the school. Some would be from a first grader, barely a football. But it was always in a little thing, welcome to Canton, Ohio. Well, does that answer?
Yeah.
Like, that's better than parking in your yard. You had a second grader in May before school went out or whenever it did, draw a picture to somebody they'll never meet, and they didn't know it was Chris Berman from Chris Kringle, Here's my wife. My late wife was an elementary school teacher anyway, so I would bring these home. It's enough to make you tear up. So that's Canton. It's the Midwest. People are nice here, and they appreciate everybody. They do. Not that they don't down where you guys are from. Louisiana's as friendly as it gets. I haven't had an arm not come out to me. Usually New Orleans is when I'm in Louisiana, but because I never covered college sports, so I'm not LSU or any of that. But come on in. Even before they knew who I was. You guys are the most welcoming, but they are here too. And by the way, I get, like we said, what Drew Brees and those Saints did for Louisiana. I think we started that way. Well, I was in that game that Steve Gleason blocked the kick. I already have goosebumps. So this will be a big deal. I'm going to lay it on thick for Drew. Don't you worry.
Oh, well, we can't thank you enough for stopping by. This wasn't scheduled, so thank you for doing this. And I look forward to hearing you again in the fall. James Meche is the man.
He got me before I went upstairs. I had to say yes. I said, I've been to Lafayette.
Thank you, Chris.
There you have it.
It's great of you guys to be here.
Thank you.
Carry our ESPN flag from Lake Charles, almost Texas border, right?
Yep.
That's right.
I've been there.
That is the end of our...
a lot of shrimp shacks.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, more of this best of edition of RP3 Mesh right after this, as you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
This is RP3 and Mesh live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Make sure to set your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsan, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
When it comes to the best boudin cracklins in Acadiana, just follow your nose to Billy's Boudin Cracklins. You know the original stuffed pepper jack boudin balls, award-winning boudin cracklins, but you gotta sink your teeth into their variety of fresh and smoked sausages. Stock up on the wide selection of specialty meats as well. They're available at all 4 locations of Billy's Boudin Cracklins, Opelousas, Scott, Lafayette, or the Crot Springs location now featuring a dine-in area with great burgers and much more cooked to order. Or visit online at billysboudin.com.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry.
No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Attention, this is a public notice from Citizens Disability. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right if you suffer from physical and mental disability. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, Citizens Disability can help. You'll be given an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, and deal with Social Security. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. We only get paid if you win your case. There are a number of conditions that can make you eligible for disability benefits, many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call Citizens Disability today to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation. 800-431-9667. 800-431-9667. 800-431-9667. That's 800-431-9667.
You're listening to the very best of RP3 and Meche with your hosts, Raymond Parch III and James Meche, here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back into RP3 and Meche as we're getting closer and closer to seeing number 9, Drew Brees, be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend in Canton, Ohio. And our next guest knows just how great number 9 was, not only for the New Orleans Saints, but for the entire NFL, how he raised the bar on what quarterback play could be and what leadership at that position could be. He would play more than a decade in the National Football League, recording nearly 400 receptions, more than 4,800 yards, and 44 touchdowns. He spent 9 of his seasons in the NFL playing for the New Orleans Saints, where he went from a practice squad player to one of the most reliable targets, specifically over the middle for Drew Brees. He helped the Saints win a Super Bowl, including catching a key 2-point conversion in the big game. He's a member of the Saints Hall of Fame. It's our privilege to welcome back to the program our old friend Lance Moore joins us now. Lance, thank you for making the time, buddy. How are you?
Of course, doing well out here in San Diego, where Drew actually lives as well. But next week, both of us will be in Canton.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Drew. And look, here you are one heck of a college football player coming out of college, but you have to, work your way up the hard way. And you sign with a team, but then they cut you, and then you land in New Orleans, and you find kind of a home. How early in that process in your career did you start developing a rapport with Drew?
Well, I mean, my rookie year, I was actually Aaron Brooks was still around, right? Those were the Jim Haslett days back in 2005, the Katrina Saints. And so it was after that season, obviously, that the regime kind of changed. And Sean was hired and Drew was brought in. And right around that time, the team actually sent me to NFL Europe. And so I was away from the team, in the early spring, the early parts of off-season workouts and OTAs. And I actually got hurt over in Europe. And back in those days when you got injured and it wasn't like a bruise or a 1 week type of situation, they would send you back over to the States. Then they ended up sending me to Birmingham, Alabama. That's where we rehabbed. A few weeks later, I was back in New Orleans. And one of the first people that I saw on my first day of physical therapy when I got back to the building was Drew Brees. And I saw him in the locker room, And he was on the other side of the locker room because that's where the quarterbacks were from the receivers. And I kind of was like, man, that's Drew Brees over there. And shortly thereafter, I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around, and it was Drew Brees. And he introduced himself to me and said that he was excited to work with me and for me to let him know if I needed anything. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't really know if this guy has any idea who I am, but I thought that was pretty cool. And that's just, I think, a good story about the character or the type of person that he is, even beyond the football thing. And that really kind of broke the ice for me as a young player trying to make it in the NFL of, hey, this guy, believes in me and is excited to work with me. That gave me a little extra bit of confidence. And as time went on, obviously him and I grew in our work together, and the rapport was there, the chemistry was there, but it was a lot of time on task, both on the field, in the locker room, in the meeting rooms, and anywhere else, because that's how it goes in the NFL. The communication between quarterbacks and pass catchers is paramount on Sundays, and if you don't work that relationship throughout the week, the entirety of the week, then it's hard for that thing to grow. So it took time. But again, he was a guy that wasn't bigger than the program. He wasn't bigger than any other guy. He was just another guy out there with the common goal, like the rest of us, of wanting to be great and obviously wanting to win. And just an ultimate example of what you would want your quarterback to be.
As someone who made a living for more than a decade catching the football, what was it about Drew from a technical perspective? What was he able to do with the football for you as a wide receiver to make your job easy and to help you out?
Well, I mean, it's just that. Like, he was so prepared. I mean, I think that's the first part. Like, everybody likes to talk about talent or arm strength or what other type of physical attributes that a player has. And Drew had those. But the way that he prepared, he knew what the defense was going to do before they knew what they were going to do. And he really was such a technician with that football. His accuracy, I think probably the most accurate quarterback to ever play. I mean, we can talk about numbers if we want, but just watching him operate every single day, and then obviously being on the receiving end of a lot of those balls, I didn't really ever have to worry about doing anything extra. I never had to worry about, well, is Drew going to get me set up for on one of these crossing routes when I'm going across the middle and the defense is going to take my head off because the ball is either late or in a position that, I'm not going to be able to get it in a comfortable spot with room to run. He just was so good at being not just on target, but on time as well. I think, from watching him forever, he made it look really, really easy. And being a guy that was on the receiving end of those and understanding all that goes into getting the ball there, it's not easy at all to do what he did and made it look so easy.
When did you know as a teammate and as a competitor that you had Drew Brees' trust to go out there and do your job and that he could count on you?
I would say probably about halfway through the 2007 season. We started out pretty slow, and we weren't winning any games. I think we started out 0-4 that year, and about that time, Coach Payton was kind of starting to make some changes as far as like the reps go and the starting lineups go, and kind of once I was thrust in there, it was like, oh, like this guy, like he may or may not trust me, but he's got to use me. And it was at that point, it was on me to make him right. And so again, it was the time on task thing, the reps that we got before, during, and after practice. It's I always say, like in the NFL, you can't skip steps. Like there's no way I wasn't going to walk in day one and all of a sudden I'm his favorite guy. It wasn't like that for Marcus Colston. I'm assuming it wasn't like that for Brandon Cooks or Michael Thomas. Like it takes time for guys to get to that point. But definitely started in 2007, but in 2008 when Marcus Colston went down and I kind of was put into that number one role while he was out, that was definitely when we got stuff cooking, and I could really see, it in Drew. They're like, man, like, you're my guy. I'm going to keep going to you. And that for sure was a great feeling.
We're talking with Super Bowl champion and Saints Hall of Famer Lance Moore joins us now here on RP3 and Meche as we're talking about Drew Brees, number 9, going to be going into Canton, Ohio. That's right. Pro Football Hall of Fame induction weekend is coming up. You had a lot of great seasons with the Saints, and you got to spend a lot of time catching balls from Drew Brees. What's the thing that you remember the most about your time with the Saints and playing with Drew? Is there anything, a specific moment? Maybe it's from practice. Maybe it's just from breaking down tape, or maybe it's just kind of like a candid moment off the field. Is there anything that stands out to you when I mention his name, Drew Brees? What's the first thing that pops in your head?
Awesome human. Like, as great of a football player as he was, as great of a leader, as great as a humanitarian and philanthropist, like, he's just a great dude that cared about all of his teammates, and not just the teammates. Everybody in the building, Drew was first class to them, and just the epitome of what anybody would hope that their franchise quarterback would be. And I've said it a couple of times since, the news broke that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and people have asked me, like, how do you explain him? And I say he's not just a Hall of Fame football player. He's a Hall of Fame everything, a Hall of Fame human, a Hall of Fame father, Hall of Fame teacher, coach. I mean, like, he's just the ultimate human being, and I definitely have realized for a long time how fortunate I was to be able.
We'll get you out of here with this, Lance. During his illustrious career, first ballot Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats, rewrote the record books not only for the Saints but for the NFL. Yet he never won the NFL MVP. Even the year that he won the Offensive Player of the Year award, he didn't win it. And I think nationally people viewed him differently than how we viewed him down here. Do you think that's going to be one of the things that is one of the maybe the great misses, is that number 9 was never awarded the NFL's most valuable player?
100%. And I know the type of person he is, and he's not going to cry about it. I couldn't imagine the competitor that he is, it doesn't eat him up, because it eats me up, and I'm not him. You know what I mean? Like, somebody that was so good for so long, and okay, you don't want to give it to him in that 2009 season because Peyton Manning had a heck of a year, but I mean, come on. Like, the guy, the only quarterback that has multiple 5,000-plus yard seasons. I mean, like, the guy was doing things that nobody else had ever done. Pro Bowl a ton of times, but MVP, I think, would be like the ultimate stamp. But can't go back and relitigate, change history. I'll be totally okay saying I got to play with the Hall of Fame quarterback.
Lance, always appreciate your time, brother. Keep up the tremendous work. Enjoy your trip to Canton. Safe travels for you and your family, brother.
Thanks, you as well. Talk soon.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout, but more of this best of edition of RP3 Mesh right after this.
This is RP3 and Mesh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
The Houston Astros open up a home series tonight with division rivals, the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners will go with George Kirby on the mound, while the Astros will throw Peter Lambert. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight at Dyken Park, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. LSU sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett said yesterday that he has no plans of giving up the number 5 jersey after Jaden Daniels and his team's actions towards LSU yesterday. Daniels' camp not only sent LSU a cease and desist on using his name, image, and likeness, but then asked LSU to return their copy of his Heisman Trophy, which multiple sources have stated LSU has no intention of doing. Following yesterday's big slate of games, the NFL will follow suit again tonight with 3 more preseason games. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will play the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins will play the Washington Commanders, and the Denver Broncos will play the Atlanta Falcons. All games will kick off at 6 p.m. tonight. In keeping with the NFL, the New Orleans Saints will get their preseason underway tomorrow against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Legendary LSU baseball coach and athletic director Stanley Skip Burtman passed away yesterday at the age of 88. In his 18 seasons as the Tiger baseball coach, he led the team to 5 national titles and 7 conference championships. As AD, he hired 3 national championship winning head coaches, and the women's basketball team reached 5 consecutive Final Four appearances during his tenure. He was also a member of the inaugural class of the College Baseball Hall of Fame in 2006. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Do you need more of the fellas here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station? Of course you do. So go make sure and subscribe to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you get notifications for new episodes of 4 Tire Change Podcast, where Dawson Iserloh talks all things NASCAR, or Cleats and Sneaks with James Meche. Get yourself more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station at ESPN_SWLA on YouTube.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the LHSAA, are the 110,000 high school sports students in Louisiana. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
You're listening to the very best of RP3 and Meche with your hosts, Raymond Parch III and James Meche, here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
We talked with the player himself. Now let's talk with the agent that represents the player. It's our guy, Paul Darcel, better known as Paul the Agent. Paul, how it goes, man?
What's up, man? Good to see you again,
It's
man.
good seeing
It's been
you
a
again.
while.
Oh, dude, look, at this point in time, I feel like draft season, it's got to be the busiest time of the year for you, right? It's got to be number one, and then probably number two is like contract negotiations when you're getting those contracts going.
You know, it's like the Christmas song is the most wonderful time
of the year.
I'm telling you, man, it just, you feel it in the air. You get excited every year. It's a new journey. You know, it's almost like if you're a school teacher, you got a new crop of kids. You get to see that joy, and it's the first time for them. So it's like that excitement that they feel.
Yeah.
You get it too. It's like you get rejuvenated. It's almost like, yeah, you're tired during combine and pro day. It can be a bit of a drag, but man, once you get 2 weeks from the draft and you almost there, teams are calling. You get to start evaluating rosters. Free agency is over at this point, so you kind of see what teams may do. Is, man, how can you not get excited about it, bro?
Yeah, and like with this process itself, what is it like for you? Because we know about the player himself because he's got to get physically ready. He's got to get mentally ready. He's got to make sure that he gets those interviews down to make sure that he impresses the teams. But for you yourself, you're in constant communication with these teams as well to make sure, like, hey, this is my guy and this is what he's about, right?
No, it's like this, man. It's like a group project. The player's doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And, he's the one going through the rigors of training. Man, it can be so monotonous. It's every day you're training, and you're just waiting for your opportunity as an agent to show your value and it show them and validate their belief in signing with you. So it's like you waiting, like double dutch, And then he's like, oh, it's my turn. So all the relationships you build with area scouts, directors of scouting, it's just a culmination of all of those things. You're gathering information, filtering information, and ultimately just wanting to manage the expectations of your player and their families. And you operate in transparency and truth, and you let the chips fall where they may.
Absolutely. Just however it goes. You represent a bunch of different players and some star players as well. And I want to ask you about Brylan. We just talked with him a couple of minutes ago. Great interview there. I was glad I was able to do so. But for you, over these last couple of years, how have you seen Brylan grow as not only a player but as a person?
It's interesting enough, man. I knew Brylan since he was maybe 15 years old.
Yeah?
His family, his dad, Mr. Brian, his mom, LaShonda, we're all from the same area. They're from Opelousas, I'm from Eunice. So kind of as I was coming up as an agent, finding my legs, getting better in the dark, before anybody had ever heard of the agent, Paul.
Yeah.
Not to refer to myself in third person, but,
Sometimes you got to.
But, we were having lunches at DC's. I go watch some at 707. I actually met Keon because of me going watch Brylan play at 707. And you just saw a young man who was super smart, who loved ball. Obviously, was quote-unquote undersized, but you couldn't deny the skills. He, absolute. You saw a lot of Tyrann Mathieu in this game.
Ooh.
Cron, I'm just being honest.
Wow.
Y'all going to think it's agent talk, but if you turn on the tape, T-O-T. Right?
You'll see some of those traits.
What, T-O-T-T, right?
Yeah.
Turn on the tape.
Yeah.
You'll see the traits, and then you saw the baseball background with me. He can track the ball in the air, physical and run fit, can play nickel, the positional versatility, went to Liberty, produced at a high level against great competition. You turn on the tape where he went against Malachi Corley, Western Kentucky, top of the third round pick or top of 4. Watch it.
Yeah.
And he's a great talent, and his best football is ahead of him. Super intelligent, leader in the locker room, special teams value on. He can be a core special teams guy, maybe even return punt, might sell some tickets for you on Saturday. Just the ultimate Swiss Army knife. And if you look at the direction that the league is going, it's all about positional versatility.
Yeah.
If you're a nickel, you better be able to cover that slot. Can he guard a big tight end? Move him outside, because that's what everybody's playing chess now. If you look at these offensive coordinators, they're matchup hunting, and Brylan Keith Green is the antidote. He's the answer.
Look, a master of one is nice, but Swiss Army knives, that's the way to go nowadays. Look, we were talking about it earlier, and we were talking off air. Let's talk about Keon Coleman. Let's be honest, wasn't the greatest year, and we know how a lot of things went down off the field as well. What's the latest with him as we get ready going into year 3?
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Now, Keon, it's about context. On paper, it may look like, it was a down year, but to me, it's a guy who made the most of his opportunities.
Okay, I like that. Optimistic.
5 touchdowns, still. Notwithstanding a few healthy scratches here, and people say off the field. Let's be clear. Off the field is a very broad term that people use. This ain't a behavioral issue. This ain't a young man domestic issues. He had some issues, cleaned them up.
Yeah.
And we're ready to go and rock into year 3. I will die on the hill that he's an all-pro caliber receiver, and he's going to put it together. So, sometimes the media, they create these narratives.
Okay.
Not you.
Yeah.
But the media.
Just overall.
I wouldn't say maybe it was a down year by his standards, but by his standards, anything where he's not going for 1,200 and double-digit touchdowns, it's a down year for him.
Mm-hmm.
This is the year where we turn it around, maximize his opportunities. If you give him targets and allow him to play towards his strengths, he's a top-level receiver in this league. I guarantee it. Put me on record.
All right. Well, we got it live on air.
Live on air.
And we got it recorded as well.
Anybody in the comments get to talking about cookies and saying crazy stuff.
And jackets.
Yeah, we're not going for none of that.
Jackets.
We're not going for none of that this year. It's all business.
Year 3 is different.
Year 3 is different. And there's going to be a lot of people. Look at, like I told Keon this the other day. It's not about proving anybody wrong. It's about proving
yourself right.
Himself right. And we going to be right this year, bro. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
I would stand on this table right now if my knees wasn't bad.
Well, look, I have him in my dynasty team, and I've kept him around this whole time, so I still have hope as well. So I'm banking on it on year 3 as well.
You should. Look, we got some off-season work with Stevie Johnson up there in San Diego.
Former Bill.
The releases are looking crazy.
Okay.
It's going to get scary, bro.
Oh,
Brylan back there not, and he knows.
Oh, yeah.
We all know.
He's smiling right now.
We all know. We all know.
All right, well, let's get into more about you. You're kind of dabbling in a new aspect of your life. You're going to be releasing a book on May 11th called Faith, Failure, and Football. What inspired you to go down this road in your life?
So honestly, man, in like maybe 2022, one of my pastors had asked me to write something for a men's retreat. He's like, just write something motivational. Just at this point, I just started getting in the church and being more consistent. And I titled it Faith, Failure, Football.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I should write a book one day. I thought about it.
That sounds good.
But it seems so far-fetched. Like people say like, oh, we should write a book, or we should do a podcast, or we should. And it was a matter of me like really, really locking in. And I felt it was the appropriate time to write what I called a how-through book, not a how-to book. So this isn't a book where I tell you how to negotiate contracts. I tell life stories about growing up in Eunice, Louisiana, about growing my faith, about a lot of the things that I've been through, but where it's still going to help you and apply, about being an underdog, about overcoming adversity, about getting out of your own way. I'll tell you this, though, man. If you read the first chapter and you're not locked in, I'll give you your money back.
Wow. Well, look, you brought up the timing at all, and you say that it's the right time. Why is right now the right time to release it compared to maybe a couple years ago when you first kind of got into it with 2022, or maybe even later to give it more time?
Couple of reasons. One, it was just I felt it was time in the sense that it's never a perfect time to write a book.
Yeah,
right?
Sometimes you just got to do it.
You write a memoir and you wait 10 years. Maybe it's not as real. I felt right now with a lot that's going on with mental health, with just the trajectory of where I feel we're about to take things. It was just the right time, man. It's needed. This is a book that's going to resonate with kids from 10 years old up to adults who are 75 years old. So when I prayed on it, and I just thought, over and over, and then what better day to release a book than your birthday, man?
Yeah, that's perfect timing. And mine was just the other day, so happy early birthday.
Yeah, you told me you had crawfish.
Yeah, I did. I had mine for last weekend for my birthday.
Awesome. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it. 26 now. It's crazy. I'm on the back half of the 20s.
Man, listen. When I was 26, I could still dunk a basketball. So
I never could to begin with. So
no,
I've always been more of a three-point shooter.
Slap the backboard real aggressively, huh?
See, I could hit the bottom and I can grab rim. I just couldn't dunk it. I was just off.
No, man. But as you were saying, over like to have the opportunity to write a book, it's very exciting because you're challenging yourself. It's hard to write.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an English major, but
and it's something that you've never done before.
No. And then it's like when you get to certain parts, like chapter 5, 6 of the book, where I had some dark times, to have to write about that and relive it, it kind of made me depressed. So I was happy to get to chapter 7 where some good stuff happened. It's like a movie where you know how it ends. I was like, bro, thank God I'm past the part where Mufasa gets thrown off the cliff.
Yeah.
I get to some good stuff. So I'm excited about it, man.
Well, let's talk about those dark times and those failures for you. At that point in time, 2 more quick questions for you, Paul, before we let you go. When it's all said and done, what do you want people to take away, or what do you hope people can take away from your book, Faith, Failure, Football?
A couple of things. I want them – I hope that people realize that they are enough, that you aren't what society says you are. Like I'm a kid from 8,500 people. So on paper, I was never supposed to be an NFL agent. I was never supposed to be on ESPN. I want them to understand that there are certain things that God has equipped you with. Those are your gifts, and your gifts alone, and it's on you to unearth those gifts, get better, and persevere through the adversity. Like, that's the first thing I want them to understand. The second thing I want them to understand is that in what man says is inevitable, like what man says is improbable, if you get in that correct alignment, anything is possible. It's really inevitable. And I share in the book that, I gave up drinking 4 years ago. And that really unlocked a lot out of me. So I want the reader to realize, like, bro, what is something that's holding you back? That could be procrastination. It could be a lot of things. It could be that woman you with, that man you with. Like, really identify what's holding you back and do something about it. It's better to be proactive. We can sit here and make excuses about our lives all day. Is you going to make excuses or you going to make a way? And that's what I want the reader to get through. I got funny. The book is funny. It's some comedy in there. It's a well-written piece. You're going to see.
Faith Failure Football comes out May 11th for you, Paul. When it comes out, where can people get it?
On my birthday, too.
Yeah, on
my birthday. So we're working through it right now, but you'll be able to get it on Amazon.com. You can go to my website, pauldarrisaw.com, sign up for early access. My mom wrote the foreword to the book, which is exciting. But the only problem is people are like, she writes better than you. But that's where it's available, man. And I'm super excited to share it with the world, bro. And I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come to talk about it, because I truly believe that it's a book that has a message that'll resonate with the world.
Paul, we appreciate you coming on once again. Best of luck to you in this new aspect in life. We'll get you back on soon, all right?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, more of this best of edition of RP3 Mesh right after this, as you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
This is RP3 and Mesh live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
The heart of Acadiana is its local businesses, the people, families, and companies that help our communities thrive. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Candyland Cottage is the place to satisfy all your cravings. Find delicious ice creams, fresh fudges, truffles, hot dogs, sausage po' boys, Frito pies, and homemade shakes. Visit us in Scott and Rain for a sweet treat. Plan your next birthday party or field trip at Candyland Cottage.
Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Since 1958, Alamo Glass has been serving Acadiana's glass needs. Alamo Glass does outstanding work on residential windows, custom shower doors, mirrors, custom framing, commercial storefronts, and door repairs. Alamo Glass also carries plexiglass and Lexan. Need a windshield or rock chip repair? Alamo Glass offers free mobile service as well as free estimates on any of your glass projects. Call Alamo Glass, 1220 Bertrand Drive, or call 233-8811. Need glass? Call Alamo Glass.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You're listening to the very best of RP3 and Meche with your hosts, Raymond Parch III and James Meche, here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
And he's accomplished quite a bit in his career. In 3 seasons with the LSU Tigers, he has over 200 tackles, 90 of them solo. He's not afraid of contact. 16 and a half tackles for a loss, 5 sacks. He earned first-team All-SEC honors in 2024. He decided not to go into the NFL draft. He could have been. They were talking about him being a high pick. He decided he wanted to come back to school and finish what he started, wanted to see the LSU Tigers ascend and have a great season. And it's our privilege to welcome to the show the linebacker, Mr. Whit Weeks. Whit, thank you for making the time, brother. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Just walk me through this a little bit, man. You know, what does it mean to you to be here representing LSU and gearing up for yet another season wearing the purple and gold?
It means everything to me. To be here means a lot because that shows me that what my teammates and what my coaches think of me, that they respect me enough to let me go represent them, you know, and I want to represent them to the best of my ability. And I think I have done that so far today. But to wear those 2 colors and represent those 3 letters means everything to me, and it truly does. And that was the main reason why I decided to come back in the first place, was because there's nowhere else I'd rather play football besides LSU.
Was that a difficult decision for you, or was that something that you had already had in your mind? You're like, you know what, I'm not going to let the public know about this or anything, but this is something that I feel really passionate about. Like, I'm going to be coming back.
No, it was a difficult decision.
It was difficult.
It was, yes, sir. So there was a lot of people telling me to go, a lot of people telling me to stay, a lot of people telling me that the best thing for my career would be to go ahead and go on to the NFL. But I felt like I had too much left to do at LSU, and that I still owed something to this university and this fan base that I wanted to give them. And I understand that my first 3 years here, we've lost a lot more football games than I would like. So I knew that I had unfinished business, and then being hurt last year, not getting to play, I mean, that just crushed me. So I really wanted to get back out there in the purple and gold and kind of play my brand of football.
You know, obviously you were picked to come here. Obviously you're going to be one of the unquestioned leaders of this team, not only based on your experience, what you've been able to do on the field, but how you conduct yourself off of it as well. When you're going into your senior season like you are, and you're going to be one of the unquestioned leaders of this team overall, just not on defense, what are some of the things that you've been working on to step up even more so as a leader and to set the example, especially with a roster that has so many new faces?
Right. I understand my role on this team, and I understand that we did have a lot of transfers on this team, so we kind of had to me and Bo Bordelon, especially our left guard. He's a Louisiana native from down the bayou, 5th year here. He was kind of the one that taught me what LSU was about and the history and the rich tradition that we've had at this university. He's the one that's taught me that. So me and him have kind of spearheaded teaching all the transfers and like letting that just trickle down into all them and really letting them know what this place is about. And I also think that I understand that this is it for me. Like, this is my last year. This is my last time that I get to go out there and fight for this school and this fan base. And that's what I want to do. So I've not left any stone unturned. And I think I've taken my leadership to the next level by doing that. By if I see something, I'm going to say something. Whereas last year it would have been like, okay, like if I see this, like, all right, well, whatever, like, we're just not going to worry about that. Whereas this year, it's like if somebody's doing something that I don't like I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get on you because this is it for me and all my best friends. Like, this is it. This is the last ride for a lot of us, not only myself.
How important is it the fact that Coach Baker is back coaching this defense? As one of the things that Coach Kiffin made a priority as soon as he took the job was, I got to keep that guy. How important is that, and how much did that play a role with you as well to come back to play for him yet again?
That's what made the decision a lot easier. That's what pushed me over the edge, was when Baker called me. He called me and he was like, he told me he was coming back, and I was like, yeah, I am too. You know, like let's run it back, me and you. Like there's nobody else I'd rather play for besides you. So let's do this thing one more time. Go give it another shot.
You guys add a player in T.J. Daugherty who is here as well. He's pretty good as well, right? The transfer from Ole Miss. He led the conference in tackles last year. How excited are you about having him lined up next to you
on Saturdays.
I can't wait. That's my boy. That's my boy for sure. I mean, we've been hanging out all year long. I mean, we've really just created a great bond and a great friendship that goes way beyond football. And that's really what that's what makes me excited. Is when you can connect with these guys and your teammates and have a relationship outside the building and outside the field. Like that's when you really create an unbreakable trust. So then when you do go out there on the football field, I know he has my back no matter what. And I also think we have a very similar mindset. I mean, just sitting down talking to him, like you can tell me and him are very similar in the way we think and the way we play football. So I think we're going to complement each other very well.
We're talking with all-SEC linebacker Whit Weeks of the LSU Tigers. He joins us here on RP3 and Meche as we're broadcasting from Digital Drive Radio Row here in the Marriott on Water Street in downtown Tampa. Look, you have a ton of experience. You guys added a lot of players via the portal, including TJ. We know the type of defense that Coach Baker wants to play and what he wants you guys to execute out on the field. How good do you believe that you guys can be here in 2026?
I want to be the best. I want to be the best defense. And one of my personal goals is I want to bring back that nastiness to LSU defense that I take personally because I feel like we've not been that the past couple of years. And I've been here like that. I take that personally because that's on me. So I come to work every day knowing that that's one of my goals is to get back that nastiness to an LSU defense. I want an offense to turn the tape on Monday and be like, oh, wow, we got to go play those dudes on Saturday.
A lot has been made about the schedule. You're a competitive guy. You've been that way your entire life. For the fans, they look at it and they go, man, that schedule, oh, man, you got Clemson, then you have to go to Ole Miss and A&M, and you got Texas and Bama and at Tennessee and a tricky 11 a.m. game in Jordan-Hare at Auburn. But as a competitor, when you see that, does that fire you up? Do you go, yeah, you know what?
100%.
Great. That schedule's tough, but if we want to be the best, we have to beat everyone.
Oh, yeah. That's what we want. I mean, you come to LSU, those are the games that you come to play in. And when you get to play in them pretty much every week, that's exciting. I mean, I love that we went to a 9-game schedule this year because all that means is better competition and better games, more excitement. I mean, you come to LSU, you want to play in prime time in Death Valley. That's why you come to LSU. That's what they sell you on is night games in Death Valley. It's unlike anything in the world. So to have an incredible schedule that people will look at and be scared of, like we're not scared of that at all. We embrace it. That's what we want. We want to go play these teams, like because then you really get to show if you want to be the best, go beat the best.
We'll wrap it up with this new head coach. Lane Kiffin kind of re-energized the fan base, has been the talk of college football. What has your experience been like now that he is your head coach?
It's awesome. I mean, I love the energy that he brings. And really the thing that I'd say about him is like what really makes me trust him is that he's out there with us when we're working. When we're doing a team run, when we're working out, something that, a head coach, he doesn't need to show up when we're working out or when we have a team run, but he's right there in the heat with us, pushing us to be the best. That just shows me that he truly cares about us and that he really wants us to be the best that we can possibly be because he's out there right in the group, in the action, when we're all dying in that heat, running till everybody's throwing up, and he's right there pushing you along. That means a lot to me and my teammates just to see that that's the guy that he's the guy that's going to lead us into battle.
I'll get you out of here with this, man. For all the people out there listening back home in Lafayette and Lake Charles, the diehard LSU fans, what's the message to them about this upcoming season? What would you like to tell them, man? Mike's yours.
I mean, I've felt the energy in Baton Rouge all off season. Anytime I go out, people are always like, dude, I can't wait for the season. I can't wait for the season. And I'm like, me too. So I just tell you, pack Death Valley and be loud. Be loud, and we'll put on a good show for you.
Whit, appreciate you making the time, brother.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Best of luck this season.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, more of this best of edition of RP3 Meche right after this as you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit duplessisbuilders.net.
Let's try something new, like not overloading your outlets. Up next, from Mr. Electric. You know that power strip and your extension cord? They are not a permanent lifestyle choice. You don't have to be afraid to get rid of them if they're damaged. And keep water far away from electricity. And if something sparks, buzzes, or smells like regret, call a professional. Because saving a few bucks is not worth turning your living room into a campfire. Home electrical safety. It's not shocking, unless you ignore it.
If you would like to learn more, visit MrElectric.com.
You're looking for not only a good electrician, but one you can trust. Here's Sean Doré with Mr. Electric.
Yeah, I love what I do. I love serving our community. It's a pleasure, it really is. Our reviews speak for the passion that I have. You know, we want to do good business. We want to be someone that you can trust to come in to your home.
Call Mr. Electric today or see us on Facebook.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros open up a home series tonight with division rivals, the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners will go with George Kirby on the mound, while the Astros will throw Peter Lambert. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight at Dyken Park, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. LSU sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett said yesterday that he has no plans of giving up the number 5 jersey after Jaden Daniels and his team's actions towards LSU yesterday. Daniels' camp not only sent LSU a cease and desist on using his name, image, and likeness, but then asked LSU to return their copy of his Heisman Trophy, which multiple sources have stated LSU has no intention of doing. Following yesterday's big slate of games, the NFL will follow suit again tonight with 3 more preseason games. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will play the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins will play the Washington Commanders, and the Denver Broncos will play the Atlanta Falcons. All games will kick off at 6 p.m. tonight. In keeping with the NFL, the New Orleans Saints will get their preseason underway tomorrow against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Legendary LSU baseball coach and athletic director Stanley Skip Burtman passed away yesterday at the age of 88. In his 18 seasons as the Tiger baseball coach, he led the team to 5 national titles and 7 conference championships. As AD, he hired 3 national championship winning head coaches, and the women's basketball team reached 5 consecutive Final Four appearances during his tenure. He was also a member of the inaugural class of the College Baseball Hall of Fame in 2006. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome into hour number 2 of RP3 and Meche as you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Hour number 1, It was a good one. Hour number 2, or can only hope that it was just as good, if not better. In hour number 2, especially right now, we're going to do a good bit of NFL talk. And I think it works so well because, as for a little while now, we've been able to make really good friends with the host of the Locked On NFL and Locked On Titans podcast, our guy Tyler Rowland. A lot's been going down, buddy, and we're ready for this season. A lot to go through, and we're going to go through these divisions. Hope you're ready.
I am. I can't believe it. I'm watching football games. We're breaking down a whole slate of preseason games ahead with all the teams. You know, we're getting decisions on big battles around the league. We keep saying, like, oh, football's almost back. And football is here.
Absolutely, and we can even go back to what had happened with Hall of Fame weekend. We were able to go since Drew Brees did get inducted into the Hall of Fame, so that was exciting for us. For you from afar, what were some of your big takeaways from the weekend?
Well, first and foremost, the game was excellent. I mean, I know that it wasn't players that everybody recognizes. A lot of those players probably won't be making NFL rosters. We'll probably never hear from them again, but it was an entertaining game to the finish, and I think that's not always what you get when we get the Hall of Fame game because of the talent level of the guys. So having a fun finish in the game being worth watching, that was a great start. But I think they generally got it right. I think the NFL Hall of Fame is the best sports Hall of Fame. Baseball is pretty good. You got to give them their credit there. The Basketball Hall of Fame is a joke, quite frankly, with all the different people they let in. But Luke Kuechly at linebacker, Drew Brees at quarterback, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, and you get the senior finalist elected, and Roger Craig, the great running back from the past. But Drew Brees, his story, part of bringing New Orleans back, football winning a championship there, and his own personal story of overcoming the shoulder injury, which I think because we're so far removed from it in the career he had after that some people forget that was a huge storyline before he came to New Orleans, and the story he tells about how that led him to New Orleans because they believed in him. It's just an incredible story. He should be an easy Hall of Famer. That was easy. Some of the finalists I think we're interesting. Jari Evans at guard, I think, is an excellent player that deserves to get in. Reggie Wayne, Terrell Suggs, Jason Witten. I think these guys probably get in, but I like that the NFL is stingy with it. I like that they don't elect a lot of people every year. It keeps their value in whether you were a first ballot, you were second, how long, like that adds an extra layer to the Hall of Fame in the pecking order, and I like that the NFL has that as well. So can't complain with any of the selections, any of the games, and Canton, Ohio. Ohio is the birthplace of football, so of course it was a great weekend there.
It's well said, Tyler. And now we kind of want to look at this season as a whole and kind of go through each one of these divisions. Well, I'll start off with the AFC, and more specifically the AFC East, because it had been dominated by Buffalo for the last handful of years, except last year when we saw the New England Patriots go from basically zero to hero in a sense and go to the Super Bowl. They end up making the big acquisition by getting A.J. Brown this offseason. It feels like it's pretty much a two-horse race with the Dolphins and the Jets being absolute bottom dwellers, not only in the division but in the conference as a whole. But what are you seeing with this AFC East going into 2026?
Well, I think you're right. It's a two-horse race. It's going to be the Bills. It's going to be the Patriots. That makes sense. I know that there could be surprises. Worst to first, the Patriots just did it. How can you say that it's that? But I think that's a fair way to put it. And Buffalo did things to get better on the roster. You add Bradley Chubb, and they bring in DJ Moore, and they already had a good offensive line, and make sure to bring back the center, Connor McGovern. And it's all about coaching for Buffalo, to me. Don't they have such a narrow window for success? How do you find joy in Buffalo? They have to at least go to the second round of the playoffs, right? Because if they don't do that, well, last year they did that, and they fired the coach that's been their coach for such a long time. So they have to at least win a playoff game. And then if you go to the second round, you lose close again. Josh Allen has a couple turnovers like last year. Doesn't it feel exactly the same? And you're like, why did we promote a coach from a coaching staff that wasn't getting the job done for so many years? And now he's in charge. We're exactly where we were before. The defense isn't any better. It's all about coaching in Buffalo, to me. Like, I feel like their coaches are in a tough spot to feel like the season was a success and for not have people on their backs. They basically got to win the Super Bowl or go to the AFC Championship game. I think Baltimore is in a similar situation as well, but since we're in the AFC East, and I love that the Patriots didn't overrate themselves. Like, we saw the schedule that they played. Everybody's looking at them like, you're going to play a tougher schedule, you're going to regress. The O-line wasn't very good last year, and Drake May just rose above it. The pass rush doesn't really have heavy hitters outside of Milton Williams, who you're like, all right, that person can get to the quarterback. The Christian Gonzalez contract saga, Mike Vrabel and his own personal saga, all this stuff has got to make them regress. Well, they're like, we're going to go out and make the big move. We're going to go get the big target for our young quarterback in A.J. Brown, who I think has some injury concerns to watch, but when he's out on the field, he's one of the top 5 wide receivers in the league, in my opinion, and can be a dominant threat for a young quarterback. So I agree with you there, but I got to say this. I think the Jets are going to be more competitive this year than bottom dweller. I don't think that the Jets are going to be fighting for the playoffs, but I think if the Jets won 7 or 8 games and were competitive and maybe played spoiler down the end, I would not be surprised by that. So what's your thought on that?
A resurgence by Geno Smith? Whoa. I that would shock me a little bit because it does feel like they're kind of like in the tank for Dante Moore sweepstakes.
I get it, but they don't have to tank to get that quarterback. I think they have a competitive roster. They have 2 good young tackles in Armand Membu and Olu Fashanu. They have a decent offensive line with Pittman up front, too. Geno Smith, yes, is shaky, but Breece Hall is a good player. I like their backup, Braylon Allen, who's healthy, according to the camp reports. You have Garrett Wilson, who I think is a really good wide receiver that's been tamped down his whole career by bad quarterback play, not unlike Chris Olave, who has broken out recently. And then Adonai Mitchell is good. They draft Omar Cooper. They add the tight ends to Mason Taylor, the guy out of Oregon, Kenyon Sadiq. It's all about the defense, but Aaron Glenn has added some players and changed the defense schematically to more to what he was in Detroit, which is why he got the job. I think the Jets could win 6 to 8 games, and I know that that's not great, but I think that's better than what a lot of people are expecting. And they have 3 first-round picks again, so they don't need to tank to get their quarterback of the future. They could just trade all 3 picks and move up in the draft. So I think that makes them in a unique position where they're going to play hard and not tank throughout the season, and they have enough roster talent where if their young guys get better, I think the Jets could be fighters.
And that's fair. I just also was kind of worried, and I do think if need be, they could just trade those first to get up and go get whoever they need to. Yeah. But nevertheless, we'll have to see. Looking towards the AFC North, though, we bring up the new head coach with Joe Brady over there in Buffalo. I say new in quotation marks, but Zach Taylor being the only head coach remaining in the AFC North for another season, where Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore all get new head coaches. What are you seeing with this AFC North as a division? Who do you think's kind of should be the lead dog?
Well, Zach Taylor's done if the Bengals don't make the playoffs, right? I mean, that's the button. The Ravens just press it. The Bills just pressed it. The Bengals got to press it if they don't get back to the playoffs this year. That's, you know, these other teams are getting to the playoffs and losing and not going far enough. The Bengals went to the Super Bowl. Now they can't even get back to the playoffs. So they're going to have to press the button to keep Joe Burrow happy after the year if they don't get to the playoffs this year. But I think they do. I like it's crazy to me because when Trey Hendrickson went to the Baltimore Ravens or was leaving the Bengals, I was like, there's no way that this defense is going to be better next year without Trey Hendrickson. But I think it is. I think I'm wrong. I think that they did do a great – Dexter Lawrence is a better player than Trey Hendrickson, in my opinion, and they've added enough. I like Boye Mafe. They got some young edge rushers. Luckily, Shamar Stewart won't be out the whole season after his little knee injury scare. They have 2 good corners, and DJ Turner and Dex, and I think they added Brady Cook in the secondary. I like the pieces that they've added. Their young linebackers, who were both drafted last year, are going to be question marks. But I like the Bengals this year because I just trust their team with a good defense. I know what I'm getting on offense. That's a good enough team when I have bigger questions about Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and obviously Cleveland.
Let's look towards the AFC South now. This is your division with your Tennessee Titans, but we've also got the Colts, who got off to a red-hot start and then just absolutely flamed out last year. the Jaguars, who surprisingly got 13 wins, and then, of course, the Houston Texans, who just have an absolute monster defense. You just need to figure out if C.J. Stroud can get back to what he looked like in his rookie year. This one does seem like an interesting division, but I want to hear what your thoughts are on this one.
I'm so high on the Houston Texans this year. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm willing to be wrong on it. Their consistency on defense is astounding. They have so much talent. They added to their holes on the interior of both trenches, the interior defensive line and then the interior offensive line. And I think that C.J. Stroud is better than what he was in the playoffs. And I think if you just get average, he doesn't even have to be as good as he was his rookie year, but if you just get average C.J. Stroud and not I'm going to destroy the team with all-time bad turnover runs in 2 playoff games, if you just get average C.J. Stroud with that defense and the playmakers they have now, the run game is going to be better. Now that they added David Montgomery again, I think they're better on both trench lines in the interior, and they were already insane on the defensive line. They have great weapons. Nico Collins is a top 10 wide receiver, in my opinion, 11, 12 at minimum, if you want to be a hater, I guess. I think he's super underrated. They have a lot of other weapons out there, too. They're going to get Tank Dell back in some capacity, and he really is the switch that flips for C.J. Stroud, in my opinion. So I'm very high on the Texans, and I feel like you can count on what they're bringing to the table. Jacksonville is a boom or bust team, in my opinion. They really rested on their laurels. This year they were high off their own supply, confident in their own smell, whatever you want to call it. They didn't make a lot of big additions. They let some people leave like Travis Achan and like Devin Lloyd, and they went, zigging when everybody else was zagging in the draft with some of their picks like Nate Burkature, the tight end, so early. People were shocked by that. They didn't add a lot of talent. They're really banking on internal development, and they let some people leave. They played a risky hand this offseason, and it's either going to, obviously boom for them or it's going to bust for them. And I could see Jacksonville being good, but maybe missing out on the playoffs this year because they lose a couple of close games. The Titans should be more competitive. The Colts will be competitive, but I don't think either of them are playoff teams this year.
Before we take a timeout, Tyler, I do want to ask you about the AFC West now. Denver has basically pushed all their chips to the middle of the table to get this Super Bowl run going. The Kansas City Chiefs, they only won a handful of games last year, but feels like they shouldn't be down for too long. The Vegas Raiders, for the first time in what feels like forever, actually feel like they have a bright thing going on over there. And then the Los Angeles Chargers feels like the only thing that would be holding them back is just Justin Herbert continuously sucking face like a high schooler with Madison Beer. It's like, this AFC West is just super interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Justin Herbert, to me, he's a great look for MVP. I think with Mike McDaniel calling the offense and using the run game more with Omarion Hampton, he's got the young tight end, Oronde Gadsden. The offensive line is healthy again with 2 elite tackles in Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. Slater can't, stay healthy, it appears. There's always something popping up. But, man, that offensive line can be really good at the tackle spots. They've added a lot of depth on the interior with some young guys and some free agency additions. The wide receiver group is all right. Ladd McConkey is a good player. They're expecting Trey Harris out of Ole Miss to take a step forward this year. Quentin Johnston's in there as well. What can he continue to provide? But I just think that with Mike McDaniel calling that offense with that talented of a quarterback, we saw what he was able to do with Tua. He had Tua leading the NFL in passing yards at different times and things like that. With Justin Herbert's talent, if the offensive line can just stay healthy, I think he can be an MVP. And, hey, Mahomes is back. He could be looking to have a revenge tour, but I think that the Chiefs are really going to lean on the run game this year, which is why they brought Eric Bieniemy back, who's a running back specialist, and they're going to have Mahomes under center, and they brought in Kenneth Walker and paid for him. The Broncos have the most talented roster in the NFL, I think. I just wonder, it's weird that Sean Payton gave up play calling duties after going to the Super Bowl, and him and Bo Nix had some weird comments about his ankles staying healthy, and Jalen Waddle's already a little bit banged up, and they lost a few guys on defense. I just wonder if their winning close games last year trend can continue year to year. They need it. They need to be more consistent. Maybe the Broncos take a little bit of a step back. I think the Chargers could take a step forward, but, man, would you be shocked if all 3 of them made the playoffs? I wouldn't at all. They're all 3 really good teams.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout, but we'll be back with Tyler Rowland to talk about the NFC. That's coming up next. You're listening to RP3 and Mesh.
This is RP3 and Mesh live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The best businesses aren't just businesses, they're neighbors. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Brobridge Truck Stop Casino. They have the newest games around. Hot seat drawings and monthly specials like no one else. Located on the Brobridge Highway and on the banks of the Vermilion River. Come out today and try your luck at the Brobridge Truck Stop Casino.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local, certified South Louisiana.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV. Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We are Lions International, the world's largest service organization. We are volunteers committed to strengthening our communities and supporting those in need, one act of kindness at a time. For more than a century, Lions have been serving a world in need, right here in our community and around the world. Lions International makes the impossible possible. This is your invitation to join us, because the only thing missing from our mission to make a difference is you. Visit lionsclubs.org to find a local Lions Club near you.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
You're listening to the very best of RP3 and Mesh with your hosts, Raymond Parch III and James Mesh, here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Tyler Rowland of Locked On NFL and Locked On Titans podcast joins us here on RP3 and Mesh. We talked AFC before the break. Let's talk NFC now, Tyler. And I want to start off with the NFC West. The 49ers seem to be an absolute disaster show with head coach involved in wreck, Brandon Ayuk going to Crazyville, a.k.a. the Antonio Brown facility. Their wide receivers are all injured or coming off injury. Just give me your thoughts on the NFC West. Is this the Rams to lose, or do you think the defending world champs, the Seattle Seahawks, are going to be able to make a run at it again?
Well, I'll tell you, I think it is the Rams to lose. They were my favorite, the favorite, in my opinion. Last year, they were the best team in the NFL last year. Whoever won that game between them and Seattle was going to win, and Seattle ended up winning the game. That's football. Is you play a one-game thing, and you can say that you're the best team if you win. But, you know, if they played a series, I truly believe that the Rams are going to win that series. But that's not the way that we do things. So I'm sticking with the Rams this year, obviously adding Myles Garrett. They had Trent McDuffie. They're going for it, and they should. Their team is that good. The only thing that can hurt that team is their own players. You know, Puka Nacua being foolish, or their offensive linemen hurting somebody or something like that. Like, they just need to lock them all in the locker room and make sure they don't get in trouble, and that team's going to walk to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But Seattle has just lost too much. I know that they haven't lost a ton of players, but they lost important players. They lost Tyreek Woolen and Kobe Bryant and Kenneth Walker on the offensive side of the ball, and they lost Clint Kubiak, who was such a good offensive coordinator that now he's the head coach of an NFL team. So I think that can't be understated, the amount of talent, coaching and roster that they've lost. And their defense was so good last year, and defenses can be good year to year, and they're going to have a good defense again, but it was just so good last year that I just don't know if they're going to be able to continue that. And I think they reached for the Jadarian Price, the rookie, in the first round. I think that was a need pick, and you never want to do that just purely on need. So I think Seattle will be still a really good team, but I don't think they're going to be on the level they were last year. In San Francisco, they have terrible karma. Like, something's in the water there. I mean, their own coach is, getting in a car wreck, hurting himself. All of their players are hurt. They're by that substation. It just never ends with them. They're going to be good. It's like they're in a purgatory, a playoff purgatory, because Kyle Shanahan's such a good coach. He's going to get them to the playoffs, even if he has to play with JV players. It doesn't matter. But they're never going to be able to get to the next level and actually win. He must have, sold his soul to the devil or something to get where he's at, because they just refuse to give him the championship no matter how many times he goes as a head coach or an offensive coordinator or something like that. Like, he just cannot break through. So whatever kind of bad karma, bad luck he has, I don't think it's going anywhere. And eventually San Francisco is going to have to – they're going to make change just because it's been too long and they haven't got over the hump. It'll probably be John Lynch at general manager, not Kyle Shanahan, because he's so good. But I think after this season, we could see a big unexpected change in San Francisco.
NFC North, the Bears are a trendy pick for the Super Bowl, and I understand why. Detroit is still immensely talented. Green Bay is still Green Bay. But it feels like the Minnesota Vikings, who have now announced that Kyler Murray is QB1, this is a team that won 9 games a year ago, got a really good head coach. Could they be the sneaky dark horse in the entire NFC, just not the NFC North?
I just don't trust Kyler Murray or J.J. McCarthy. And they're in a similar vein where their coaching and their roster outside of quarterback is good enough to where they'll be a competitive team. But I don't think that Kyler Murray is much better. And, yeah, they named Kyler Murray starting quarterback today, but leading up to this, I saw a lot of people in the Vikings community complaining that Kyler Murray hasn't separated himself from J.J. McCarthy and that he hasn't played well enough. And I just don't know if either of those guys is all that good anyway. I think both of them will end up playing some this year. Kyler Murray never stays healthy anymore anyway, and J.J. McCarthy doesn't either, so they'll probably go back and forth at some point in time. So I think the Vikings will be competitive because they always are, but I can't take them seriously. I think the Lions are headed for a major fall-off. I think a year from now, Dan Campbell will be considered a coach on the hot seat going into next season, despite the run that they've had. They hired Drew Petzing at offensive coordinator. I hate that. They're weak in the secondary still. They're weak in the pass rush, again, outside of Aiden Hutchinson. The offensive line, they lose Cade Mays now. They're weak there and they're relying on a rookie right tackle and Blake Miller. I don't think Dan Campbell is a good enough coach to not have great coordinators, and I don't think that he does right now. So I think the Lions are about to fall off, and they're going to kind of fall off that pedestal they've been on for the last couple of years. But outside of that, the Bears, the Packers, I don't know. I mean, the Packers have all the talent in the world. They just never put it all together. They always make weird mistakes in big moments. And the Bears just feel like they're going to come back down. They won a lot of close games last year with Caleb Williams playing terrible for 3 quarters and then being good in 1 quarter. And I just that works, but how sustainable is that? That's kind of like how I feel about the Broncos with Bo Nix. He'll play terrible for 3 quarters and then play good in the 4th, and everybody's like, Bo Nix is good. But the Broncos have a better roster than the Bears have with their injuries in the secondary, their uncertainty at certain spots on the offensive line. So I really don't know. I have strong opinions pretty much across the board, but I don't know what to make of the NFC North either.
All right, bud, I'm up against it, so get you out of here with this. Who do you like to win the NFC East? Who do you like to win the NFC South?
NFC South is going to be between Tampa Bay and the Saints. I think the Saints are a much improved team. Love the offensive line. Tampa Bay is the only team that has the real talent. I don't trust Tua. I don't trust Bryce Young or any of the quarterbacks in Atlanta, whatever that happens to be. And then in the East, Philly's still good, but I think the Cowboys, just like the Bengals, They have such a good offense, and they improved enough on defense. I think the Dallas Cowboys surprise the world and win the NFC East.
Tyler, always appreciate your time and your insight. Keep up the tremendous work that you do with Locked On NFL and Locked On Titans, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
This is RP3 and Mesh live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros open up a home series tonight with division rivals, the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners will go with George Kirby on the mound, while the Astros will throw Peter Lambert. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight at Dyken Park, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. LSU sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett said yesterday that he has no plans of giving up the number 5 jersey after Jaden Daniels and his team's actions towards LSU yesterday. Daniels' camp not only sent LSU a cease and desist on using his name, image, and likeness, but then asked LSU to return their copy of his Heisman Trophy, which multiple sources have stated LSU has no intention of doing. Following yesterday's big slate of games, the NFL will follow suit again tonight with 3 more preseason games. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will play the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins will play the Washington Commanders, and the Denver Broncos will play the Atlanta Falcons. All games will kick off at 6 p.m. tonight. In keeping with the NFL, the New Orleans Saints will get their preseason underway tomorrow against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Legendary LSU baseball coach and athletic director Stanley Skip Burtman passed away yesterday at the age of 88. In his 18 seasons as the Tiger baseball coach, he led the team to 5 national titles and 7 conference championships. As AD, he hired 3 national championship winning head coaches, and the women's basketball team reached 5 consecutive Final Four appearances during his tenure. He was also a member of the inaugural class of the College Baseball Hall of Fame in 2006. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. Do you need more of the fellas here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station? Of course you do. So go make sure and subscribe to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you get notifications for new episodes of 4 Tire Change Podcast, where Dawson Iserlo talks all things NASCAR, or Cleats and Sneaks with James Meche. Get yourself more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station at ESPN_SWLA on YouTube.
Are you looking for an eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call today to schedule your appointment.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0471. 800-245-0471. 800-245-0471. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0471.
You're listening to the very best of RP3 and Meche with your hosts, Raymond Parch III and James Meche, here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back into RP3 and Meche as we're broadcasting from Radio Row here in Tampa for SEC Media Days. And we'll welcome on our next guest. He is the executive director of the College Football Playoff, a role that he has held since June of 2024. But he was a former gridiron great for the U.S. Air Force Academy. He would go on to have a distinguished career in our United States military for more than 3 decades, where he would be in 3 combat missions. He would earn the Distinguished Service Medal, then the Distinguished Flying Cross, among so many other accolades. He now is the man in charge of helping run college football, guiding it into this new era. Rich Clark joins us now. Mr. Clark, thank you for making the time.
All right. Thanks for having me, Ray. I appreciate it. It's good to be with you.
It's good to be with you as well, sir. I want to go back and learn a little bit more about you, if you don't mind. What made you go to the United States Air Force Academy and play college football there?
Well, I actually got recruited, and I was going to go. I was in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, was where I went to high school, and I was going to make a move to William & Mary, is where I was going to go play football. And then Ken Hatfield was the head coach at Air Force, and he came to my house, visited with my mother, father, talked to my family, and said, hey, just come out and see it. And I had one more recruiting visit left. And so I went and fell in love with the place. Coach Hatfield was amazing. I could play big-time football, I could get a great education, and I could train to be a pilot. 3 things that were really important to me, and I switched and went to the Air Force Academy.
So many people, our student athletes, have to figure out how to balance the workload in the classroom and to be an athlete. For our young men and women that go to service academies, it's even more so because you're also being trained in a regard to be able to serve your country. How much did that discipline that you learned during those years as a student athlete at the United States Air Force Academy shape you into the man that you would become?
Well, I will say that I learned the leadership lessons at the Air Force Academy have stuck with me forever. But football and the teamwork, the character, the discipline, the ability to work with folks to achieve a common objective, all of those things that I got playing football were as important to me as what I got from the military training at the Air Force Academy. And being able to prioritize and work with others and ask for help when you need it was really important to me. But I would say that those 4 years really shaped me and provided the foundation to go on and serve in the Air Force and now at the CFP. But I feel like, playing a sport combined with that military training was really important for me, and I needed it. So it was very helpful.
What does it mean to you to still be known, even today in your new role leading college football, but to still be known as a patriot and as a man who sacrificed himself to represent our country and to serve our country and to help keep this country free?
Well, I'm honored to have served, and I don't think I should be thought of any higher than the other millions of people that serve our country, not just in the military, but throughout a lot of different disciplines in our country. There's a lot of people that serve, and I picked the military, and it was great for me and my family, and I was very honored to do it. And I do appreciate it when people thank me for my service, but there's so many people out there serving, and I'm just one of many people that it takes to make a country like ours as great as it is.
We're talking with Rich Clark. He is the executive director of the College Football Playoff. He joins us here on RP3 and Mesh as we're broadcasting from Radio Row for SEC Media Days here in Tampa. Rich, I want to talk about making the transition from lifelong military career into being the executive director of the College Football Playoff. How has that transition been for you in the last 5 years?
The learning curve has been steep, I will say, because I came in right when we were transitioning from the 14 playoff to the 12-team playoff. And so not only did I have to sort of work to learn what CFP did generally, but also to help the team transition from 4 to 12. And all I could say is I am blessed to have an amazing team, because the people that I came into the CFP to work with are one of the most incredible group of people that I've worked with. And they were very, I'll say, patient with me to help me learn, to teach me, and to help me get my feet under me so that I could contribute to us leading the CFP to this transition. So it's been great, but I'm still learning. Honestly, it's I'm only been in it for 2 years, and there's people that have done this their entire careers. Worked in college athletics. So I'm still learning, but I will say this: it's harder than I thought it would be, but I love it more than I thought I would. And whenever it gets really tough or I have that bad day, like anything else, you got to step back and go, you know what do we get to do? I mean, this is college football, and I get to be a part of something amazing. And I used to have to say that in the military all the time. I'd have a rough day, but I'm like, you know what? I'm flying airplanes, and I'm part of the greatest fighting force in the world. So I've been real fortunate to work in some amazing enterprises and work with incredible people. So I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Lots of talk about further expansion. And I make the joke all the time. I says, can we just enjoy this for a few years before we go to changing it again and expanding? Where do you stand on there? I think you're in a great spot. I think the college football playoff is great as it is right now, but you do have people clamoring for more and more and more. What do you say to those people?
Well, I agree that the 12-team playoff has been really spectacular the last 2 years, and the commissioners did a great job putting that into place. But I also know that they want to get better, and they're looking at some options that I think have some good promise. But if they don't make a change, we are, like you said, in a really good place. We'll stay at 12 if a decision's not made. In fact, we have until December 1st to make a decision for the future. But I think right now what we have to do is really give it serious analysis, make sure we answer all the questions, and come to a very solid and deliberate decision before we change to something that's already really good, because it has to be better. And I'm confident that the commissioners won't make a decision that's going to set us back, but we want to make sure that they have all of the information at hand. So it's either going to be we stay at 12, we go to 16, or we go to 24. And I see the benefits of all of them, but I also see some of the cons of every one of them too.
We are based in Lafayette, Louisiana, so we cover a team that is a Group of 5 school. And it's important for them to be represented. I know there's a lot of national conversation about, so forth and so forth. Do they deserve to be in there? How important is it to make sure that the Group of 5 conferences are not shut out in the college football playoff, not only right now, but moving forward?
I think it's incredibly important, and I think that the commissioners do as well, the management committee, because at the beginning of the season, you want every student athlete, every team, every fan to know that there's hope, that there's a path to the championship for them. And that's important to preserve. And I believe that in every one of these options that will still be there. I also think it keeps fan bases engaged, more fan bases when several different teams from different conferences have a shot. I think that's also very important. So having a path for every team in the beginning makes the regular season even better. And the college football playoff isn't, the regular season's not here for the college football playoff. The college football playoff is here for the regular season. And if we're not making the regular season better, then we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's all about the regular season, and then we're the cap off to it. So we need to be enhancing that regular season, and having a path for every team does that.
We'll wrap it up with this. What do you think is going to be one of the big catalysts for maybe there being expansion? Obviously, it's been talked about, but what do you think is one of the big things that has to be done, or hurdle, or whatever it might be, obstacle, or maybe just figuring things out? Hey, if you expand the playoff, that means you're probably going to eat more into the spring semester for the student athletes, right? You have to figure that part out. Obviously, always scheduling with the NFL, trying to be on every day of the week, right? So what are some of those big hurdles that you and your team are already looking at and already working on, so to speak?
Yeah, so I think you kind of hit it. There's not one big hurdle. There's a few questions that we have to answer, and things that we know that we need to be able to deal with. And you talked about the schedule. Where do we play these games? There's only a limited number of weekends to add more games. So we have to figure that out, because something would have to give. We have to look at student-athlete health. We can't have those games so close to each other. Right now, we try to keep every game 7 days minimum from game to game, so that athletes have a chance to recover and get ready to play for the next game. So that would be a part of it. We have to look at the TV, the broadcast windows. When are we going to show them on television? People want to see them. We owe that to them. And you have to look at the revenue. The institutions, every dollar we get goes back to the conferences and then back to the institutions. So we need to make sure that there's a good business case for it as well. So those are just a few of the things that we have to consider, but looking at it in totality is really important. Answering the right questions, having hard questions asked, and then answering them as well. I will say, though, December 1st is coming soon, and I know the commissioners, they don't want to wait till the last minute to do this, so we're working and have been working for a long time to answer questions, generate more questions, and make sure that we're making an informed, deliberate decision. So we still have a little bit of work to do, but where I'm staying confident is in that we're not going to go to a format that's going to be worse for college football than we're already in, which is the 12-team format.
Well, Mr. Clark, once again, thank you for making the time to talk to us, and once again, thank you for your service to our country. Can't wait to talk to you again.
All right, thank you, Ray. I appreciate it. And you can call me Rich, by the way. I go by Rich. So
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a time out, but more of this best of edition of RP3 and Meche right after this.
This is RP3 and Meche, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit duplessisbuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
It's hurricane season, and Mid-South Power Solutions wants you and your family to be prepared. Protect your home from sudden power outages with a Generac automatic standby generator, the industry leader. Installed by the experts at Mid-South Power Solutions, the Generac automatic standby generator will start up during power failures, keeping your home powered until the local utility restores service. Remember, installing a standby generator is not a do-it-yourself project. Mid-South Power Solutions factory-trained technicians meet the highest standards. Don't get caught in the dark. Visit Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley or at midsouthpowersolutions.com. Mid-South Power Solutions. Your power, our priority.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
You're listening to the very best of RP3 and Meche with your hosts, Raymond Parch III and James Meche, here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
And we welcome on our next guest. And he needs no introduction if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. But I'm going to give him the proper intro that he is earned. In his career, he has been a matchup nightmare, 6'7", 237 pounds. Those little 5'11" D-backs don't have a chance to defend him. He earned second-team All-SEC honors last year when he had 33 receptions for over 400 yards and a team-best 7 touchdowns. His 7 touchdowns last year is a new tight end record at LSU. His 11 career touchdowns, by the way, is also a record for tight ends at LSU. Of course, joining us now is the tight end for the LSU Tigers, Trey'Dez Green joins us. Trey'Dez, thank you for making the time, brother.
For having me.
So what is it like for you to come to SEC Media Days, to be asked by your coaches and your teammates to represent the purple and gold here?
It's truly a blessing by me being from the state of Louisiana. You know, of course, you have LSU, and by that being the biggest brand in Louisiana and the biggest brand over all of college football, is me be able to represent my state is just so important to me, and it's just so heartfelt that my coaches have trusted me to even be able to come in and do this stuff to represent the LSU.
You were obviously a guy that was a matchup nightmare early on in your career, but last year you kind of had a little bit more of a breakout year, a little bit more consistent year. Walk us through, what are some of the things that you've been working on personally to even become even a more dominant player at the tight end position for LSU in 2026?
I want to be looked at as a complete tight end. I want to be able to be just the full version of a true tight end, the blocking, the re-IDing, the mic points and stuff, the catching, and of course the pass game as well. I just been attacking the defensive side of the ball, understanding different coverages. I've been understanding different techniques. I've been locked in with the O-linemen. They've been teaching me a little different technique stuff with the run game and everything. I've been with the receivers learning different stuff in the pass game. And I've even been with my tight ends. My tight ends have been teaching me like little stuff on the blocking side of the world. So that's the game, part of my game that I've been attacking,
Mhm.
and just trying to learn football more, just trying to be a sponge and soak up everything that I could.
I take it part of that soaking it up and being a sponge more is obviously you have a new head coach who is known as an offensive guru, and he's bringing his offensive coordinator, who's also known as a guru as well, and is the son of an offensive guru. So, what's been your what have you been able to take away early on through spring with head coach Lane Kiffin and offensive coordinator Charlie West Jr.?
I've learned so much about the game of football that I haven't known. Like it haven't been even presented to me. Like they just the way that they explain things and the way that they the proof is in the pudding. Like what they can do and how I just be so open. Like everybody just be so open. Like the offensive mindset that they have is it's just different. It's so exciting to see.
I can't but you're smiling from ear to ear, man. You're just excited just thinking about it.
The stuff that they said that they were going to do with me, they're doing it, and I'm having so much fun in this offense. It's so amazing.
And so they looking at maybe unlocking something that we haven't seen yet from you. That's what you're trying to tell me there? It's like
basically
you could be huge.
It could be different.
We're talking with Trey Green, star tight end for the LSU Tigers. He joins us here on Digital Drive Radio Row for SEC Media Days here in Tampa. Of course, all of our coverage is presented by Service Chevrolet Cadillac. I got to ask you, man, I want you to be honest. I just want you to be real with me here. When play comes up and you realize that you're going to be defended by a 5'10", 190-pound guy, do you just smile like you're smiling right now? Did you just you're thinking, man, are you thinking, man, that's precious? You think you're going to be able to defend me? That's cute. That's cute that you lined up on me. I mean, you walk us through that. Your perspective as a competitor.
So we do the formation, we shift out, and I see I'm one-on-one with the cornerback. And like, no matter the height of the cornerback, I know it depends. Like if the cornerback is tall, I play it a little different. But every time I go out, I know it's mine. Like from as soon as we step out and I see that they're in man coverage, it's mine.
How much is playing this game about mindset? About having that mindset that you're better than the other guy?
Everything. I feel like not so much as the mindset of saying that I'm better than them, just the mindset of saying that he didn't work like me, or he didn't put in the time that I put in. I know I put in more time than him, and I know I've worked harder than him. So I'm not going to let him stop me from catching this ball.
You've made some great catches. You've made some great touchdown grabs in your career so far. Is there one that stands out to you even now to this day that you go, man, that was top notch. That was excellent.
I say that bowl game catch.
Oh, yeah,
the bowl game catch that I had on the right side of the field, like the one-hander. I knew it the whole leading up to that week. The preparation that I had prepared for the bowl game prep. That's when I had realized that I love football. I realized that I love football, and I was like, I really love this game, man. I can really be something with this, and I just locked in. I just dialed in, and that was one of those catches. Like I can't let him stop me from catching this ball. That's why I did any and everything to catch the ball. I didn't care how the ball was through. I was coming down with the ball.
What are some of the things that you've been working on physically this off season to improve your game? You mentioned earlier about being a more all-around tight end, maybe working on the blocking, working with your linemen and everything. But what are some things that you've been working on just in your own time, with your downtime? Is it your footwork? Is it your route running? Is it some sort of hand exercises? What are some of those things that you could share with us that you've been working on to make yourself better?
I've been really tapping into like the science side of the football. I've been getting my body right. Like I go to the doctor named Eric in biomechanics in New Orleans, and we do these exercises. We do these like the cupping treatment, and like just get my body so right, and I feel so good because my body's a machine, and I want to put the best thing in my body. I want to have my body in like the best position that it could be in for this season.
We'll wrap it up with this, man. For all the folks out there that are back home listening in the Lafayette and Lake Charles area, the diehard LSU fans, what would you like to tell them? I did the same thing with Whit when he joined me earlier. The floor is yours. What would you like to tell all those Tiger faithful about this upcoming season, man?
What I want to say to the fans back at home is y'all deserve so much, man. Y'all deserve a winning culture back in Baton Rouge. Y'all deserve everything because y'all are the best fans in the world. And I just want to let y'all know that I really appreciate y'all and everything that y'all have done and instilled. Like, just get ready. We finna put on a show for y'all, and I love y'all. Go Tigers.
There we go. Trades, thank you for making the time, man. Best of luck this season, brother.
Thank you.
That'll do it for this best of edition of RP3 and Mesh. Up next, the lowdown with D-Lo.
Around Acadiana, community means supporting the businesses that make our hometown special. That's why we're proud to spotlight local companies that are certified South Louisiana.